Folks, 2 weeks in a row, 2 episodes in a row, and we're talking about soccer, top of the show. Good afternoon and welcome to the podcast. I'm Nick Drago. Today on the show, we're going to talk about the protests at the Manchester United game today. Hooray! And of course, we got to get into the NFL draft and the NHL playoffs right around that corner. Stick with us, friends, because sports starts now! And welcome to the Sports Podcast with me, your host, Nick Drago. For those of you that are new to the show, first off, howdy ho, how are you? What's new? How's it going? What do we do on this program? We talk about baking, right? Pies, crepes. Do you bake a crepe? I don't even know. You bake a cake, I know that. Alright friends, we talk about all the sports news information from the previous week while giving you some insight on what's going to happen over the next week, month, year, etc. And friends, we got a doozy today. The NFL draft was this week, so yeah, we're going to talk about that. I had a nice weekend. Did you have a nice weekend? I mean, in my head, it's not technically over. It's like 5:30 right now, so I've still got some time to do fun things. It was a beautiful day here in Pennsylvania. I gotta give it that. So that's fun. How are you? You're good? Did you have a night? Did you poop today? I need everybody to tell me if they pooped today. Email me, sports3xpodcast@gmail.com, or you can contact me at that same email if you just want to talk about sports or the show in general. Again, that's sports3xpodcast@gmail.com. I definitely want to hear about your poops, though. And if you like what you hear, you can find me on Soundcloud, Twitter, YouTube, and the Facebook. Just type in sports with Nick Drago. Type it in that search bar. You'll find me. Otherwise, I'll find you. All right? Let's talk about some sports for today. And like I said, we're actually going to start with soccer. I know. Should I call it football? Well, there was all the craziness 2 weeks ago about the Super League. And on the show, I did talk a lot, extensively, about my thoughts. And as a dumb American, I guess I didn't fully understand it. Because now I see why so many people were mad. And I still didn't hate the idea. I'm sorry. I'm still a dumb American who's... Of course, you're going to make more money doing that stuff. But I totally understand why fans are outraged. And I'm glad it's not happening. Kind of. I still think it'd be really cool. I don't know. I think if they found a way, I know you have the Champions League, and that's all great. But if you found a way to include other teams in this yearly, and I don't know, there's got to be a way you could do it. There has to be. Anyway, fans in England are fuming, specifically at all the foreign owners of their football clubs. Now, in the past, most of these owners are typically custodians. They don't really make money on these teams. A lot of them just kind of do it because they love soccer or they love the team. And, maybe they're there a couple years and then, they sell and they're gone. Sports teams over there don't really change cities or names or anything like that. It's very rare that those things happen. Anyway, so Manchester United was set to play Liverpool today at Old Trafford, and fans went nuts, storming the field, storming the stadium, denouncing the Glazer family who owns the Manchester Uniteds. Is that what they're called? The Manchester Uniteds. It's like the Yankees, the Uniteds. No, I know. I'm just messing with you guys. All right, bear with me, dumb American. Okay. Anyway, so fans pissed at the current owners, the Glazers, who, yes, they are Americans, and yes, they were a big proponent of the Super League, which again is not happening. so to speak. We don't know. Every day I keep seeing a new thing that, well, legally they signed the agreement, so it's happening. And then you have the teams that are saying, no, it's definitely not. And I think there are people out there that want there to be ramifications. Kick them out of Premier League, or kick them out of UEFA, the Champions League for a year or so, or fine them, or whatever it may be. What I really find funny though is when you read about how the Premier League started, it wasn't all that dissimilar, and people flipped about that too. Yeah, they did. Go look that one up. People who were born after 1993. Anyway, all right, we're going to move on from soccer now, because that's really all I wanted to talk about. The NFL Draft. Yup. Was pretty exciting, actually. We're going to talk a little bit about the first round, some of the teams, some of the picks, what I saw. Listen, first off, the Jaguars, the number 1 pick, made the right move. As much as I would have loved to see Trevor Lawrence drop to number 2, we all know that wasn't going to happen. Now he's got to take a really bad team and make them good. Good luck, Trevor Lawrence. We'll see what happens there. Brigham Young, the Jets taking Zach Wilson. As a Jets fan myself, of course I wouldn't be happy with anything that they did, to be honest. But I think he was the best. I can't even say he was the best quarterback available. Justin Fields was still on the board, even though he dropped quite a bit. I think Zach Wilson's he'll be serviceable. I just don't think I don't think that Sam Darnold's time was up. I can't believe that they traded him. They traded him away, got Zach Wilson, and here we are all over again. I think if they had the number 1 overall pick and had a shot at Trevor Lawrence, I would have said, heck yeah, go for it. But after that, I don't know. I feel like there were better players available. They could have gone for a guy like Kyle Pitts, who I think would be a huge playmaker for the Jets, and then still trade up and get Elijah Vera Tucker, who's the guy. That's the guy they traded up for, the linebacker, which great move. I actually really like that move for the Jets. Him and Mekhi Beckham together, they're going to have a nasty O-line. Trey Lance going to the 49ers at number 3. This was a bit of a shocker as well. I think a lot of people expected them to go for either of the other 2 quarterbacks, but hey, take what you get. Kyle Pitts at number 4 to the Falcons. Great move for the Falcons. He's definitely going to give some versatility to Matt Ryan's final couple of years in Atlanta, so we'll see what happens there. We're going to go down a little bit here. A lot of predictable moves I wasn't too surprised about. Devonta Smith falling to number 10 to the Eagles. The Eagles wanted to snatch this guy up. They were head over heels for him. My issue is he's 170 pounds. The guy's got to bulk up a little bit. But I think he's going to do just fine. Justin Fields went to the Bears. It's an interesting pick for the Bears. Yes, they have Foles and Dalton. And now they have Justin Fields. Any one of those guys could be the starting quarterback this year. I'm sure Foles and Dalton are pissed because I don't think they wanted to be the backup for the Bears. So it's going to be an interesting little experiment for sure. Micah Parsons, Penn State. All right. Oh, he went to the Cowboys. Never mind. Let's go down a little bit. Mac Jones going to the Patriots. A lot of people upset at the Patriots for taking a quarterback so early on. They definitely need it. It's certainly something they needed. I think people are more upset because now they have another top-tier quarterback. Who knows? You never know how these guys are developing. He could be terrible. The whole Patriots organization can fall flat on their face. You never know. Alex Leatherwood. Now, this was a surprise. The Raiders definitely could have waited on this guy. Definitely could have just waited till the second round. I don't think there was anybody who really was looking at him as a first-round pick. They must be in love with Alex Leatherwood to make that move. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't think the Raiders fans were too happy. Dolphins getting an edge rusher from Miami. That's huge. Let's see. Giants moved down to get Kadarius Toney. Nice move for them. Were there any others that stood out to me? Oh, the running back. The Jaguars also got a running back. Etienne? Travis. We're going to call him by his first name. Good old Travis. I think that's big. A running back and a quarterback. The Jaguars are definitely trying to overhaul the offense. Brown's going for a corner. That's certainly going to help. And those were really the big moves that I saw. I mean, a lot of teams made a lot of teams made a lot of picks. I think a lot of people were head scratching over the Raiders. Leatherwood was not the only player they took way too early. They took a couple of guys in the second and third round who really weren't rated until the fifth. So just some weird things going on there. The Jets, if I can talk about the Jets one more time today, took two different players with the same name. Michael Carter, the running back, and Michael Carter, the safety. The best part of this, though, is when they drafted the first time, ESPN showed the highlights for the other guy, and so the coaches and staff at New York Jets were running around thinking, oh my god, did we just draft the wrong player? Good old ESPN blunders. Anyway, they ended up taking both, and these two are already chatting to each other on Instagram, on Twitter, which is hilarious. I hope they become besties. I really do. The SEC breaks a record. 65 players selected in the 2021 NFL Draft. They held that same record previously. That was in 2019. Maybe it's just their conference. I mean, I can't imagine any other conference having more than that. But anyway, Aaron Rodgers. Is he leaving? Is he staying? Aaron Rodgers is apparently pissed. And, the Raiders are emerging as a landing spot, according to this one. Geez, where do we even start with this? Listen, there's been some issues with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers for a while. Matt LaFleur apparently can't fathom Aaron Rodgers leaving Green Bay. Well, buddy, you might have to. Unless they get rid of the GM, who I think is the problem for him. Yeah, here it is. He won't return to Packers under GM Mike Gutkunst. And he may also hold out of camp. So what do? If you're the GM, right, if you're Brian Gutkunst, you're going to sell this guy, trade him immediately. Otherwise, the owners are just going to fire you instead, because I think they'd rather Aaron Rodgers. Seriously. So this should be fun as this plays out. Fans are pissed. The Green Bay fans are pissed. And I don't blame them for it. But they got to get this guy some pieces. They got to get Aaron Rodgers some talent around him. He wants to win. And he clearly doesn't see Green Bay as the future. Teddy Bridgewater is on his way to the Broncos. This is a nice pickup for them. I never really was sold on Drew Lock. I love Bridgewater. He had an unfortunate start to his career in Minnesota. Where he was injured, and then some really good players stepped in, and then they just went for broke and got Kirk Cousins. So they're really screwed with him. Anyway, I like the guy. I think he's been to a couple different teams now. He's with the Jets in New Orleans, and then he was with the Panthers. I hope he can win the starting job with the Broncos and really show off while he still has some gas left in that tank. He's still youngish. He's still, sure, there's some years left on his belt. All right, I think that's it for football. Let's move on to basketball. 76ers get a win over the Hawks, 126-104. Celtics beat the Spurs, 143-140. Wizards get a win over the Cavaliers, 122-93. Grizzlies beat the Magic, 92-75. Trailblazers, they get a win over the Nets, 128-109. Bucks beat the Bulls, 108-98. Suns get a win over the Jazz, 121-100. Kings beat the Lakers 110-106. That was all on Friday. Now the Hornets, they get a win over the Pistons Saturday, 107-94. Warriors beat the Rockets 113-87. Heat getting the win over the Cavaliers 124-107. Pacers killed the Thunder 152-95. That's the biggest home loss for a team ever. That's right, ever. Huge Huge loss for the Thunder. Magic get a win over the Grizzlies, 112-111. Pelicans beat the Timberwolves, 140-136 in OT. Hawks getting a win over the Bulls, 108-97. Mavericks beat the Wizards, 125-124. Jazz get a win over the Raptors, 106-102. And the Nuggies beat the Clippers, 110-104. Now today, there's a lot of late games tonight, but you got Bucks and Nets, with the Bucks leading right now with just a couple minutes to go. It's 101-96. Still close. Anything can happen. Trailblazers Celtics tonight. Kings Rockets. Knicks Rockets. Kings. They're the Kings of New York. 76ers and the Spurs. Suns and Thunder. I don't know why I just clicked on that. Mavericks, Kings, Heat, Hornets, and Lakers, Raptors. Those are all tonight's games, but let's look at those standings right now. Nets and Sixers have clinched their spot in the playoffs, and they're just a half a game between each other. Sixers, actually, the Knicks are now in first. The Nets are now in first with the Sixers right behind them. Bucks at 39 wins, they're in there as well, and the Knicks at 35. Knicks are 9-1 in their last 10. They went on a 9-game winning streak. They are good-ish. Listen, do I see this team winning a series against the Nets, the Sixers, the Bucks? I think they have a chance. But in basketball, a chance isn't very high. I think they're good. I don't think they're one of the best teams. I don't see them winning a championship right now. But they have a lot of cap space, and they are attractive to other players. Look for the Knicks to be good in the coming years. Hawks at 35 wins. They're in fifth, and the Celtics at 34. Heat, 34 wins. Go Heat. Hornets at 31, and the Pacers at 30. So the Pacers are just outside that playoff bubble, followed by the Wizards, who are 8-2 in their last 10, finally putting things together. I think fans have been waiting all year for this team to do something. So we'll see what happens then. They're still a couple games back, but they have time. Bulls, Raptors. Raptors still unbelievably can't get it together. And then you have the Cavaliers, Magic, and Pistons. If you go to the West, Jazz and Suns have both clinched. They're number 1 and number 2. No, I did not expect Jazz and Suns to be number 1 and number 2 starting this season. Nuggets are 9-1 in their last 10. They're at number 3. Clippers at number 4 with their 43 wins. And then you have the Mavericks. We're going to go down a little bit. Mavericks at 36. Lakers at 36. They're 3-7 in their last 10. They just have to hold a playoff spot so that LeBron James can come back and lead them to absolute glory. Absolute glory. Trailblazers are in there as well at 35, and the Grizzlies at 32. Warriors at 32 and 32, just trying to make that playoffs, just trying to get in there. Spurs at 31 all. Pelicans are 29 wins. Kings at 26. Thunder at 21. Timberwolves at 20. And the Rockets at 16. Yeef. Thunder are 1-9 in their last 10. Yuck. Luka Doncic, 30 points, 20 assists. That is huge. This was against the Wizards. Was this Saturday? Where they won 125-124. I'm sorry, he had 31 points, 12 rebounds, 20 assists. That's a triple-double. That's like a super-duper triple-double. I mean, not many. Look, the only other players to record 30 points and 20-plus assists in one game are Oscar Robertson, Magic Johnson, and Russell Westbrook. That's some pretty exciting talent to be connected with. We talk about the Thunder and their loss. This is the largest home defeat in NBA history. What was it? 57 points. 57 points. Let's go to the NHL. Hockey season's almost over, friends. We're getting to the very end. Friday's games, Canadiens beat the Jets 5-3. Avalanche got a win over the Sharks 3-0. Kings beat the Ducks 2-1. Coyotes beating the Golden Knights 3-0. Yesterday, the Bruins got a win over the Sabres 6-2. Lightning fall to the Red Wings 1-0 in a shootout. Canadiens beat the Senators 3-2. Islanders beat the Rangers 3-0. Hurricanes get a win over the Blue Jackets in OT 2-1. Devils beat the Flyers 4-1. And the Penguins get a win over the Capitals 3-0. Maple Leafs beat the Canucks 5-1. Predators beat the Stars 1-0. Avalanche get a win over the Sharks 4-3. Panthers beat the Blackhawks 5-4. Wild get a win in overtime. That's 4-3. Ducks beat the Kings 6-2. Golden Knights beat the Coyotes 3-2. Oilers beating the Flames 4-1, and then today's lone match is Lightning and Red Wings, with the Lightning winning it 2-1 with 5 minutes to go in that game. Let's look at those standings. The Hurricanes, the Carolina Hurricanes are not only number 1 in their division, they are number 1 in the league right now, friends. Now, granted, they play in a pretty miserable division. I'm not going to lie here. Panthers, Hurricanes, Lightning in the East, playing against the Predators, Stars, Blackhawks. It's just a little sad. The Predators are on the cusp of a playoff spot, but the Stars really are nipping at their heels. It could go either way. Remember, earlier in the season, I said look for the Stars to push for a playoff spot. I've been saying it all year. They're only 3 points back right now. They looked miserable to start the season. They're making a comeback right now. Predators at 58. I'm sorry, Hurricanes at 75 points, followed by the Panthers 73, Lightning at 71. All three have clinched a playoff spot. Then you have the Predators with 58 points, Stars at 55, Blackhawks 50, Red Wings 45, and the Blue Jackets, lowly Blue Jackets 43. Weren't they in first place at one point? 1-6 and 3 in their last 10. In the East, Penguins, Capitals, Islanders have all clinched. Penguins in first place after sweeping the Capitals this weekend. That's right, 2 straight wins. They have 71 points, Capitals at 69, and the Islanders at 67. It's all but certain that the Bruins will be that next playoff spot. They're at 66, and really they could end up above the Islanders at the rate they've been playing. They're very good right now, 8-2-0 in their last 10 games. They've won the last 3. Rangers are pushing, but it's going to be a bit of a challenge for the Rangers. There's 8 points right now between them and the Bruins. They're going to have to win like every game and hope the Bruins lose more than their fair share. Flyers at 51, Devils at 41, and the Sabres at 33. In the West, the Golden Knights are on top right now at 74 points. Avalanche with 70, and they've played only 49 games. Wild at 68, and then you have the Blues at 53, Coyotes at 50. Either one of those teams could get in. The Sharks at 45, Kings at 44, and the Duckies at 39. Golden Knights are 9-1 in their last 10. They look really good right now, but the Avalanche, the Avalanche still have like 8 games to go. A lot can happen in that time, so it's not over there. Now, if you look at the Canadian division, this is another division that looks a little lackluster. Maple Leafs at 71 points. They're the only team here who's clinched so far. Oilers at 62. It's all but certain that they're going to get in. And the Jets are at 57. The Jets have had a rough span. They've lost 6 straight games. They're 3-7 in their last 10. The Canadians are at 55 points and just nipping at their heels, but it's going to be close. Now, and the Canucks, the poor Canucks, they've lost 4 straight games. They're killing themselves trying to catch up to the rest of these teams. When they restarted their season 2 weeks ago, I said then and there they have a real shot to get into the playoffs. It's not a large one, but it's a shot at least. But now I think it's totally out of reach for them. They're basically just phoning it in to end the season. Oh, by the way, the Penguins, 15 straight years in the playoffs. Congratulations, Pittsburgh. See, I'm wearing my Penguin shirt today. All right, the Kraken has paid their final expansion payment, and they are officially the 32nd team in the NHL. Way to go, Seattle. So we'll expect to see some Kraken plays, some Kraken next year. I don't know. I love everything about this, the logo, everything. Jake Virtanen on the Canucks is on leave after sexual misconduct. Oh, Jesus, I can't say words. After some allegations of sexual misconduct, that is very wrong, Jake Virtanen, and I'm not surprised. The founding owner of the Calgary Flames died at 97 years old, Brian B.J. Seaman. He was 97. So, moment of silence for our fallen founder of the Calgary Flames. Okay. Jaromir Jagr leads the club he owns to the top Czech hockey league at 49. Were they not the top Czech hockey league? I'm confused here. Do they have promotion and relegation like they do in or did they just win the championship? They clinched their playoff series 4-3. I'm not really 100% sure what that means, but way to go, Jagr at 49 years old. He's still leading clubs. He's still doing all those crazy things. I gotta love it. All right, let's finish off the show with baseball. Quite a few games yesterday and today. Nationals beat the Marlins 7-2. Yankees get a win over the Tigers 6-4. Royals beat the Twins 11-3. White Sox beat the Indians 7-3. Orioles get a win over the Athletics 8-4. Cubs beat the Reds 3-2. Astros beating the Rays 3-1. Mets beat the Phillies 5-4. Cardinals 12-5 over the Pirates. Rangers get a win over the Red Sox 8-6. Brewers beat the Dodgers 6-5. Blue Jays beat the Braves 6-5. Rockies beat the Diamondbacks 14-6. Padres beating the Giants 6-2. Angels beat the Mariners 10-5. Nationals beat the Marlins 3-1. Cardinals beating the Pirates 3-0. Yankees got a win over the Tigers 2-0. Blue Jays beat the Braves 7-2. Reds and Cubs. Jesus, between the two of them, 25 runs. Reds had 13, Cubs had 12. Did they go into extra innings for this game? Yes, they did. I love that even more. Love it. Astros fall to the Rays 5-4. Indians beat the White Sox 5-0. Dodgers 16 runs over the Brewers at 16-4. I'm sorry. Twins beat the Royals 13-4. Jesus. Rangers beat the Red Sox 5-3. Orioles and Athletics are playing right now. It's bottom of the fifth. Tie game of 4-4. Giants beating the Padres 4-1 in the fifth inning. Rockies beating the Diamondbacks 2-1. They're in the fifth inning, and the Mariners and Angels are in the fifth inning, and it's 1-0 Mariners. Mets and Phillies are playing later tonight. Let's take a look at these standings. In the American League East, Red Sox reign supreme, but they're 5-5 in their last 10. They're slipping a little bit. Blue Jays are on a roll right now. Yankees are on a roll right now. Yeah, Yankees are actually winning games. I know we were laughing at them 2 weeks ago, but you knew that wasn't going to last. So Red Sox, Yankees, Rays all have 14 wins. Orioles not far behind at 13. It's still early in the season, friends. Anything can happen. Now, moving into the AL Central, the Royals are 16-10. White Sox not far behind them at 15-12. Indians 13-13. Twins at 10-16, and the Dodgers 8-21. Twins are probably the biggest surprise right now. And the Royals are doing well. That's good for them. But yeah, nobody expected the Twins to not go into the season playing well. Athletics on top of the AL West at 16-12. Astros right behind them 15-13. Mariners 15-13. Angels 13-12. And the Rangers at 13-16. Into the National League. The Nationals 12-12, and yet they're leading the division. What? Phillies are 13-14. Mets are 10-11. Braves are 12-16. The Marlins are 11-16. First off, they're 7-3 in their last 10. The Nationals. They're starting to pick up the pace a little bit. Phillies and Mets were kind of on top before them. They're still only half a game back though. In the Central, the Brewers 17-11, even though they got beat up by the Dodgers today. Cardinals are 16-12. Reds are 13-14. Pirates are 12-15. Ooh, and the Cubbies 12-16. Let's go to the AL West. Giants are in first place. Am I reading that right? You sure are. The Dodgers have had a miserable week and a half of baseball. They have fallen to second place. The Giants have taken advantage of 16-11. I mean, technically they're tied, I suppose. Dodgers are 17-12. Padres not far behind at 16-12. And then you have the Diamondbacks 14-13. The Rockies at 10-17. Friends, that's it. That's all I got for today. I think that was a fun show. Did you have fun today? I had a fantastic time with all of you. Do we have a song to close out the day? I don't. Special thanks as usual to Johanna Drago. She's the content editor, logo designer, and set designer of this podcast. She's also my pregnant wife, and I love her. The music here is a song called Golden Sunrise by Josh Woodward. A link to his website can be found in the show notes. Special thanks as usual to our social media warriors. Gary and Mary Kay Albert, my mom, Joe Calabro, Jorge Pajares, the whole 10 gang, the whole 9 yards. I don't know, I'm just saying words now. Okay, and I think that's all. Are you good? I'm good. You good? I'm good. You good? I'm good. Okay, well then, if you like what you heard, you can find me on SoundCloud, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Just type in Sports with Nick Drago. Yeah, that's me. Or you can do the emailing of me, sports3xpodcast@gmail.com. You can like, share, Twitter, comment, all that fun stuff. Just do that on the social media things. And yeah. With that, friends, I'm done for today. I look forward to reading all of your poop emails in my inbox. In fact, I'm just going to go right now and start looking. Oh, we've got several, which is weird because this hasn't gone live yet. Okay, friends, see you later. Adios and have a good night. I don't know. Caw-caw.